What's up? This is Dr. Zodiak. We got OG and a very special guest, the professor.
Hey, humble, man. Thanks for having me.
Thanks so much for coming through. I appreciate it.
For sure, bro. For sure, man. Glad to be here.
Yeah. You know, we've been thinking about different podcasts, right? And Bobby's a good friend of mine, and it's cool that you're actually going to church with Bobby at Fearless Church.
Yeah.
And tell me a little bit about how you met Bobby.
Yeah, I forget you call him Bobby. To
Oh
me,
yeah,
it's
Robert. Yeah.
I forget that's what people call him. But no, we connected like I think over COVID. I think it was 2020. I started going to Fearless because my cousin was going there.
Yeah.
And then I went to a service, and Pastor Jeremy Johnson.
Yeah.
He was just cool people, you know what I mean? So we had a long convo the first time I went, and then he asked me would I come and do like a Q&A during a service, and he asked me actually to play him one-on-one. So
Really?
so we actually played one-on-one at the service, you know what I'm saying? I'm trying to break the pastor's ankles, which was cool that he would even do that, you know what I'm saying? Like it was unconventional, but he's cool and he's creative.
Yeah.
And he's funny, he's a great guy, and he really lives what he says. And the whole staff up there is really super cool. And Rob is like Jeremy's right-hand man.
Yeah.
And we hit it off because we were both in entertainment, you know, but also go to the church. And so like he brought some business opportunities, and then we just like hung out just organically.
That's cool.
And you know, quick 4 years, here we are 2024. So yeah, he's a close friend of mine.
And were you already going to church at the time, or that's when you kind of got involved in going to church more so?
No, I actually came to Christ in 2011. I actually came to Christ at my teammate's funeral, believe it or not.
Wow.
Yeah, my teammate was Escalade, street ball legend.
Yeah.
He's 6'9", 500 pounds.
Wow.
Yeah, he passed away of a heart attack.
My condolences.
Yeah, his brother is Mark Jackson. Mark Jackson, you know, the TNT analyst for NBA games. His, hand down, man down. I don't know if you know Mark, but Mark was an NBA legend too for like 15 years. But it's actually his brother. It's actually crazy when I tell people in the b-ball world that they're brothers.
Yeah.
They have no idea. But anyway, he was preaching at the funeral, you know what I'm saying, for Escalade. And so they had like an altar call. But I think God had worked on me in a whole bunch of ways that led up to that moment. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So I gave my life to Christ, and then I was going to church out of Santa Clarita, but then when I moved to Marina Del Rey, I was looking for something more on this side. So, yeah.
That's cool, man.
Yeah.
So, go for it. No, I was just gonna say before all that, like how, you know, were you like, you used to party a lot, or were you like?
Yeah, I think for me it was definitely had to change a few things. You know what I'm saying? Of course, I think we're always striving to be like Christ, right? So you're always kind of like, you know, fine tuning your life, you know, to be more like Christ, but. Yeah, partying. We party heavy, like the And1 tour and all that. Okay. You know what I'm saying? We everything was fast life. The buses, city to city, women, you know, alcohol, all that stuff. So yeah, like today I don't drink. I go to events. I don't party, but I'll go to like an event. You know what I'm saying? Not that I don't like hanging out. You know what I'm saying? It's not even really about that, right? Jesus hung out with sinners. He went to a party too.
Yeah, no, for sure.
Word. So it says like it's a sin to not be sober-minded. So like, but it really has to do with, it's always deeper than what people say, right? You say, oh, the Bible said this, and man, a lot of people have no idea what they're saying. So there's a verse about being sober-minded. So like, if you're not sober-minded, you can't follow the Holy Spirit. Technically, if we were to follow the measure of Christ, you live every moment by the Holy Spirit. You know what I'm saying? So God is guiding you throughout the entire day. That's Jesus. That's all he did. He just did what the Father said, like every step of the day.
Yeah.
But if you're not sober, then you can't follow that.
I mean, but they would drink wine back then, right? I mean, wasn't like he converted the water into wine and all that?
Yeah, but that's the thing. Drinking's not a sin.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Jesus drank wine. You know, when we take communion, right? He gave real wine. You know what I'm saying? So
what was the wine for? What do you think it's for then?
I mean, it's still same. At the wedding, celebration, recreation. You know what I'm saying? I think God, he's calling people to a higher standard. So rise above it doesn't mean it's like the do-all be, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
I think it's a lot of things. Everything's controversial nowadays, right? You get into LGBT, that's controversial, but that's just like drinking or like, right? Like it's sins that you got to overcome to be like the image of Christ, and we all fall short daily. You know what I'm saying? But they say like true salvation is always like, you know, being more and more like Christ. You're gonna take a few steps back to take a few steps forward. You know what I'm saying? That's what they say true salvation looks like.
Okay.
So all these things are like, there's like sins that a lot of people fall short of. But yeah, as far as drinking, like there's people at Fearless that would drink out. Like nobody's getting drunk. Like nobody on staff at least.
Yeah.
I mean, people that go there, people are people. You know what I'm saying? People always want to blame God or Christianity based on the people. But it's like, I think a lot of people, honestly, the misunderstanding of people in general, right? There's crookedness in every business.
Yeah.
Podcasting, there's crookedness. CBD is crookedness.
For sure.
Basketball, there's crooked, right? So you don't think church was void of crookedness? Like, of course it is. It's just still people. It's very realistic. I think a lot of people think when you come to Christ, you just become an angel, man. You know what I'm saying? You got
Perfect
no time
person,
for sin.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
that's not even what it is. You actually, man, you might be tempted more. It depends how focused on Christ you are. So, like,
Correct.
yeah, it's a strive for perfect. It's like a striving to be like Christ. It's not perfection. It's like, that's what it is. It's not perfection. It's correction.
Oh,
You know what I'm saying? That's what
There you
being
go.
in the faith is, Christ.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, so that's how I look at that.
That's cool, man.
Yeah.
All right. Well, because sometimes I'd be feeling bad because I'd be drinking wine, but then I'm thinking, well, wait a minute. They used to drink wine back then. Maybe it's not so bad.
Yeah, it's very unclear, right? There's actually really credible, good websites to go to nowadays to see. Obviously, you can find anything on things, but there are actually a lot of people don't know with Christianity. There is like a standard that all the Christian 80% they're all kind of following. It's just like the Bible, and here's some websites that just are very biblical, and you can like lean on that for like high credibility, right? I think when people don't have a big ecosystem of like the full church or Christianity or what God's trying, then they're weird, right? They could be like, well, this website said it's like, bro, them dudes that did that they on some other stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So I got gotquestions.org. That's a good one. Gotquestions.org.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, just a biblical like ministry that kind of like, it's great because it's like there's life questions that you could ask, right?
Yeah.
But if you broke out the Bible, it might be hard to fully like bring it into modern day context and basically like see what it says and just like layman's terms. It's all layman's terms.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You could just Google that question. It'll give you a full thing. You could lean on it as credible. Yeah. It could be, it's heavy, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, for sure.
Look, this is the first topic. I never been to the pod. Give me a war breaking out on the viewership. No, I'm just messing. But nah, it's a good question though. It's dope. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. All right. No, I mean, I grew up. I mean, I went to private school. You know what I mean? So I grew up like with all that, with religion and all that. So I mean, the way I grew up from seeing all these different religions, because they've had me in different religions too. You know. So I just looked at, you know what? I feel like God is just your heart. You know what good is, and you know what bad is, and it all comes from heart, from every human being.
I think we were built with that though, right? The
Yeah.
Bible would even
Yeah.
say you actually have a conscience that's from God, right?
Yes. Yeah.
We can all say doing anything bad to a baby is bad. We all know that, right? Because it's just
sure.
like that's like in us. It's like our conscience that we're born with. So, yeah, yeah.
Pretty local, right? It get pretty local, but.
We were talking about God. I've gone for 5 minutes.
Oh, dude, you don't even know. We went all the other religions. It's a full theology class before you even got in here.
We did a left
What's up,
turn.
bro? How you feel, man?
Yeah.
Are you back?
About that.
It's all good. I was texting.
Bobby Robert in the house.
Yeah.
He called you Bobby. I didn't even. When he's first saying, it, I was like, I think he's talking about Rob.
No, so I know Danny, Dr. Zodiak,
Yeah.
from my Uncle Ghost, and
Yeah,
so
yeah.
my family calls me Bobby.
I got
And
it.
so if you ever see anybody call me Bobby, they either heard someone from my childhood call me Bobby, or they're my family.
I got you.
Yeah.
I got you.
So it stuck. I
remember you told me it.
I
Yeah.
never stopped him. I like it. When I was a kid, I don't think I ever told him, hey, my name is Robert.
Yeah.
I just kept it. I'm like, I like it.
Yeah. It works, bro.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
like it.
Yeah.
GCF. GCF, baby. Meet Danny. Our thing is GCF, good, clean, fun.
I like this. GCF, man. Sober up.
My definition of GCF is a little bit different than Danny's, but that's okay.
Sure.
You know?
Sure. Still find common
He's
ground.
still a brother to me. We pray together. You know, we pray on things and everything. So
Let's go. Let's go.
Yeah, we try to, keep things on the right path. And sometimes we get deviated from that path, but then we go right back and, try to.
Sure. Well, it's like brothers, though. You know what I'm saying? You might get a fist fight with your brother. Like the reconciliation bring you closer together. I was messing. I don't know what it is, but
it's like family. Yeah.
yeah, family. There you go.
Yeah, for sure, man. So you blew up big with Dan One. They were doing a tour, and you you basically hit them up and they got you on board, or how did it happen?
Nah, I couldn't get a hold of him if I wanted.
Went to go,
Well, you were
they
young,
came to
right?
his town. Yeah.
No. So what happened was, And One blew up around 2000. They had the VHS tapes called the And One mixtapes, but it was the first time like hip hop and basketball really merged, to the masses.
Yeah,
And like, it had this cult following that was like crazy. It was like the coolest thing in basketball. You know what I'm saying? Like around that time period, if you rocked And One, you was like a real hooper. You know what I'm saying? You're like a thorough hooper. Because back then everything was about being hard and being a realist.
Yeah.
So like they were the first one to make baggy shorts. You know what I'm saying, remember the baggy era? Like they're the first one to be baggy.
Yeah.
So I loved it. I'm culturing it in middle school and in high school. My first day of school fit is And One head to toe.
Yeah.
And so I'm a fan. So then they land an ESPN show 2002. I'm a junior in high school, or excuse me, I'm a senior in high school.
Oh, okay.
02. They land this ESPN show. It's the greatest thing ever for me. It's like, that's like, I'm locked in. You know what I'm saying? I watch every episode. I quote it all. I know all the moves. And I really deep dive study it from a basketball standpoint. And then, so I actually ended up going to try out for And One the year before I got on. Because what they did is they always involved the people. They did an open run before every tour stop. So like they would take the best of that city. So I lived an hour away in a small town called Kaiser, Oregon, but I drove an hour to Portland, Oregon, where they would always come. You know,
How old were you then?
they don't do much in Oregon except for Portland. I was a senior in high school.
Oh, okay.
And so I tried out, and then I actually made it. I made it to the final rounds, and I got to play one game against the And One mixtape tour. It was like a quick game. I went against my OG Sick With It.
It was 1-on-1.
No, it's 5-on-5. And One's all 5-on-5. And then the next year, I mean, this thing is blowing up next level. This thing was on TV more than the NBA. Today, if you had to measure, it was A-list, it was mainstream. Shit. So 03 is back again. It's even bigger, and they're having tryouts again. So I just finished my freshman year in college, where I'm a bench warmer, not getting a lot of opportunities. I look like I was 12 years old, and I had a lot of skill, but people around my way, they didn't really trust that style of play, right? If I did like a crossover, they look at it as like showing off, you know what I'm saying? Because I'm in Oregon, it's like Hoosiers. That they value like Hoosiers and like offenses, and like it's like Princeton basketball. It's like white people type vibe, right? So I finished my freshman year, but then I hit the weights and I'm doing 3 a days. Like I'm just living basketball. It's all I do. You know what I'm saying? Like literally from sun up to sun up, just all basketball. I 5 a.m. make 500 jumpers before class, 2:30 open gym, scrimmage 5-on-5, a couple hours. I hit the weights, and then I come back in and work on my game again in the evening. So I improved by like 300%. But I think it was really because I'm always practicing like that. The real reason was just I'm a late bloomer. I probably went through puberty when I was like 17 or 18. You know what I'm saying?
All right.
So I graduated at 17, right? So coming to JUCO, community college, like I'm still feeling my way around. But next thing I know, we're having an open gym in the spring. I'm like the best player in the gym. Like my team is always holding court, and got guys who are really good. Got a guys going D2, a couple guys going D1. They're bringing in new recruits. Like big schools are coming there and watching. I would just wipe them down, like killing it. And then next thing you know, those college coaches are like, "Who's this kid?" You know what I'm saying? But then And One comes, and so I went and tried out again this time. Made it to I got picked. It was me and one other dude out of like hundreds or thousands of people.
Oh, shit.
And then we go in and I play against Team And One, going against my idols, and got into a back and forth with Hot Sauce and Sick With It. And, these are my idols. I was cool just that night, just watching them. You know what I'm saying? But getting to play is like everything. And then they asked me to go on tour with them.
Oh, shit.
And little did I know, this season 1 was all about introducing the And One players to the masses, commercially. Okay. Season 2 was about finding a new superstar, finding a new talent. And they were doing a Survivor-themed TV show throughout the whole summer. So, like, if you play bad, they send you home and replace you with somebody else from the current city. But I made it to the last city.
Sick.
Hit a buzzer beater at Madison Square Garden. We beat Team. It was like stuff I couldn't even duplicate. And then we played. The last game was like in the hood. And shout out to Main Event. He's one of my OGs.
Okay.
Who I have super respect for. His street ball legend. The last game was in his hood. And that's where I went. I had like a battle with Hot Sauce that I kind of won, and then that's where I won my contract with And One. So my career began later. I'm just like an underdog. I'm like Rudy and Rocky. You know what I'm saying? That's my whole thing.
What year was that?
That's 03.
03. Wow.
Yeah, 03.
And how old were you in 03?
17, turned 18. Yeah. Yeah, I got, when I got on the amateur, I was actually,
So that was then.
sorry, it was 18. My bad. It was 18, turned 19. My bad.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
So then you did. Was that after you did Venice or before Venice?
Well, Venice is just like, that's like my home court now for YouTube stuff.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? We went to Venice in like 06. There was an and1 thing called Crash the Court. So we would do the arenas, and we had like 6 buses, and we would go on tour. The ESPN show was a combination of our off the court promotions, living on the bus, you know, dope fly, like hip hop tour lifestyle.
Yeah.
And then it was mixed with the other 50% was just the basketball, the games at the arenas. But we would do what's called Crash the Court, where we would just like go to the hood or go to whatever the court was, like Venice for LA. And then we would just like play pickup games to
Oh shit.
you mix it up with the locals. But everything's always recording. Everything's for either the mixtapes, which eventually became DVDs instead of VHS, and then it was for the ESPN show also. So that's what it was. It was like a hip hop basketball tour. Everything was like the Globetrotters, but for real. You know, Globetrotters like scripted. You know what I'm saying? We do it like for real. So when you had mentioned Venice today, like I live in LA, so obviously I shoot a lot of vids at Venice just because.
Oh, so you're still in Venice now?
I mean, if I go to Venice, it's a built-in crowd. I love it just because the vibe out there, but also like if I go play there, there's gonna be a couple hundred people watching within like 10 minutes or 20.
So you don't think we'll ever see Spider-Man take over again?
Oh, when I did Spider-Man, I actually never went to Venice. That was like a little bit everywhere in LA.
Oh, okay.
It's like a harder live show though, because I'm on like 50% in the costume. Like sometimes the performances were like this is God's plan. Like I just never missed a shot and never missed a thing. But other times it was a little more difficult. I'm always about to pass out by the time I take that thing off.
Wow.
Shit, I bet.
But it's always fun. That's why nobody else does the vids. It's too hard. You can't see your hands when you dribble. You know what I'm saying? You only got like
The Bugs Bunny was crazy though. Get the big old mask on for the Bugs Bunny.
Yeah.
Like that's a whole
same thing.
sick.
So
spinning around.
yeah, it's super fun. But that's what blew up my channel was the cosplay basketball vids.
Yeah, I think that's when I seen it. I seen it back then, years back. Years back. I didn't even know it was him. My son was all like, "Remember the video we saw?" I was like, "Oh shit, all right."
Oh, he connected the dots for you.
Yeah, he did.
Okay.
And I wasn't, because at first I was like, I'm always at work, you know what I mean? So I was like, oh shit, that's crazy. I used to always watch it and shit. It was pretty dope.
I've like played through a bunch of eras now, so like it depends. Like some people will be like, "You still hooping today?" I'm like, "Yeah, bro. Who? You know what I'm saying? Dropped a video yesterday." You check. Some people only know me from Air One. Some people only know me from Spider-Man.
Oh, right.
The other half the audience like waiting on a video today. So like I have a very like split audience, and sometimes they only know me from a certain era.
Sick.
Right now with YouTube, your videos are getting millions of views, you know.
Yep.
How do you like putting videos on YouTube? Is it profitable? You know, if you hit 1 million views, what does YouTube pay for something like that?
It ranges, but well, being a YouTuber at the highest levels is super profitable. So yeah, I mean, I never thought, because like I didn't make the NBA. I signed away my college eligibility, so but I was like a bench warmer. So like to me, playing on N1 was the dream.
Yeah.
But then I actually was like, dang, I'm way better than I thought. You know what I'm saying? Like a lot of people were like, where are you going to school? They're thinking D1.
Yeah.
I'm thinking like, I don't know, bench warmer, JUCO. I'm here. This is it. They're like, where are you going to school? So I did actually try to make the NBA after that, but it was hard without a resume. And it was hard because back in that day, it's funny. It was like now everybody plays. They're inspired by street ball. Everybody's play is inspired by street ball now. Kyrie, Steph, everybody. James Harden. You know what I'm saying? They watched us growing up.
Yeah.
So, but back in that day, street ball was actually bad. Like my OG, Skip to My Lou, who I first emulated, like he was the first N1 player. He had to let go of his flashiness to be in the NBA for 10 years. He had to kind of like put it to the side. He couldn't be full on Skip to My Lou. He had to like be Rafer Alston, the basketball player,
Oh shit.
to kind of get his spot and get his respect. And then he would sprinkle it in there because he's so good. You know, he's sprinkling in there every now and again. But in that day, it was looked like the basketball purists were like hating on it. Like, oh, that's a circus. You know what I'm saying? But then, you know, you got the Jay Wills, you got the Allen Iverson. They kind of like brought street ball to NBA also, and everybody's inspired by N1. So I think like it changed basketball. You know what I mean? It changed basketball. But when I was trying to make the NBA, it was really hard. I was battling that politic narrative that it's not real basketball. So the only way I could have is like, you got to score 30 again. You'd have to just straight up prove it. But I was never that guy. I'm more of like an underdog. And then sometimes I will score 30 and you'd be like, you know what I mean? Cause I'm like Rudy or, Rocky or whatever underdog story you could think of. So that was more my vibe rather than like just scoring 30 or 40 a game. I'm a point guard, you know what I mean? So
And the reason primarily is because, these guys are a lot bigger and taller and stronger.
well, let's do a style of play too. It wasn't necessarily like can't keep up. That's what people always say. He's too short for the league. It's like, well, I can name 7 players that are shorter than me. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But I think that I think like mass was a bigger thing more than like if I was gonna make the league, 30 pounds of muscle would benefit me a lot just from the bumps.
Yeah.
Being able to push. You know what I'm saying? Like guard people in the post. All that comes into play. But also, it's all resume. If us four sitting here own the Lakers, we're not hiring a street ball player. We need a year or two in the G League. We need a few years in China. We need like D1 Europe. If you're gonna give somebody 7 figures, you got to be sure of your investment. You don't do it off like this dude is flashy on ESPN. You know what I mean? So
I would think they would just take you. Like, what?
I think they would sleep on the marketing. I think a lot of people sleep on it. You know what I'm saying? Like I have a following. It's like an NBA All-Star, but I never played in the NBA. But I think if you actually got to the people who run a franchise, some might know that and some don't. I know like Mark Cuban is his homie, so Mark Cuban knows of me. But like I bet you he actually doesn't know my true marketability. Like if I just like walk around, I'll be recognized by an 80-year-old,
We can't
high
go anywhere.
schooler, a dude that's in 3rd grade. The demographic's long because I've been doing it for so long. So I think, could they benefit from a marketing standpoint? Definitely could have, but I'm also 40 now, so I don't even want to. You know what I'm saying? Like, I want to play a game every other day. That's crazy, man. You know what I mean? And like, it's just unrealistic anyway. Nobody's gonna be a 40-year-old rookie, right? They're looking for 18 to 22-year-olds to debut in the NBA for the most part.
For sure, yeah.
The oldest rookie ever was 30.
Oh,
He
wow.
played for the Lakers. He was on the G League, the Defenders, and then he made the Lakers for like a stint, and then that was it. Yeah, he was 30.
And did you play basketball for high school as well? I believe you did, right?
Yeah, I played every step of the way. I always had like elite handle, like skill set, but I always like I just had a hard time getting an opportunity because where I grew up, that style of play was looked at as like circus ball or like not real ball. But I think it was because like my coaches growing up, they had a small ecosystem for basketball. They didn't trust any of us, right? They would look at us as like all the underdogs and all the not as athletic as the inner city. So we need to run offenses and kind of outsmart the other teams through execution. And they're not wrong, right? That is like that what you would do with a bunch of white dudes from the suburbs. You trying to go compete with dudes who are going D1 from the city and all you don't want to play their own game. We do the crossovers and all that. It's not usually gonna work. I just happen to be like unique in the fact that like my handle was always like crazy, but like it was just where I'm from, it didn't fit the mold.
I would have thought you probably won a couple of championships for your high school team. You know what I mean? Just for having.
I had a great senior year. Here's the thing: as a junior, I was on the JV team. On the JV team as junior, but I scored like 30 like 4 or 5 times. You know what I mean? But like I still couldn't move up. But I think it's politics too. You know what I'm saying?
Sure,
Parents are more friends with the coach and
Sure.
all that stuff weighs in. But I was always good middle school. I was always on the team, the elite team. I was on the all-star team for the state. But as I got older and people got mature, it was harder. So my dad transferred me to a Christian school my senior year. There's only 300 kids in the whole school. But I got second team all-state, averaged like 20 plus and 7 assists and, had a really good year. But when you go to college, nobody's looking at the small Christian school, right? They don't even look. So I had to walk on, try it out for that community college, and they were like, "Oh, this kid pretty good. Like, where you come from?" You know what I mean?
Oh shit.
So that's kind of how my career went. It's always an underdog, like no matter what.
Sick. Oh yeah. All right. Shit.
Yeah.
And with YouTube, you got 8 million subscribers?
Just under. I think like 3,000 away.
7.99, yeah.
Something like that. Yeah, I think 7,999,999.
Wow. That's some shit right there.
Thanks, bro. Yeah. Appreciate it.
And the video that blew up for you was the Spider-Man. Was that the first one?
The first one.
That really took off, huh?
The first one, my homie Robert Monroe, he's like a genius.
Yeah.
He'd come up with great ideas. But he gave me the idea because I had 17,000 subscribers at the time. And I started my YouTube actually right when And One ended in '09 because I saw it as like free distribution. As I was calling it, I was like, this is like free TV.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because like no
How
gatekeepers.
are you going to get that many views without YouTube prior to YouTube? You wouldn't.
There's no Gram, there's no TikTok.
Unless you had a
Facebook didn't
relative.
do video. So this was the first avenue online with no gatekeepers. You know what I'm saying? You don't need a distribution deal. You don't need to be signed. Here you go. And I think it was in 10 countries at the time.
Yeah.
So I looked at it as a way to get booked. I was actually doing it for live shows. I was like, hey, when I play, I'll throw my footage here and we'll try to get booked some more for some more live shows because not thinking about the content. Okay. And then a fan actually, so like mad fans were ripping our TV show and making their own Professor compilations. And they were doing like millions in a week. So I actually hit one of the fans that made it and I actually had him teach me how to edit. Wow. Because when And One ended, we kind of went broke. Like I was just living check to check. I can't speak for my teammates, but I know for me, I went broke. Like I was just living check to check at that point, and I needed something else. So I was like, this is good marketing.
How many years were you with Dan One?
03 to 08.
Oh, sure.
5 years, huh?
Yeah, it was like 6 seasons of ESPN in 5 years.
The rug under you. Did it kind of come by surprise?
Super. I mean, them not doing the mixtape tour in retrospect is like a bonehead move, right? It's like, gotta be kidding me. You know, like the head of branding at that time, he was telling me, he's like, oh yeah, man, the mixtape tour. He's like, that's just a branch on the tree. You know what I'm saying? It's a limb on a tree. We got a whole bunch of limbs over here. And I was like, what are the other limbs? You know what I'm saying? But I'm also young. So I was like, maybe he's right. I don't know. You know what I'm saying?
And the music. So they brought in the mixtape. It had, what rappers did they have on there that you work with?
Oh, on a mixtape? I mean, it was everybody in the game back then, but it was kind of it had a lot of people like with their mixtape tracks that didn't go on their album. So like Snoop is on one, you know, Volume 3, Noriega, you know, CNN, Exhibit. Man, everybody's actually on them. Jadakiss.
And the songs,
the Locks.
They were a compilation from different hip hop artists, and you guys would put them on the mixtape. Were any of the songs made for And One?
Yeah, they were all kind of
For the rapping about?
I think it started out, big shout out to Set Free. Set Free was the first MC. You know, Duke Tango's the dude on the mic that named me. You know what I'm saying? Duke Tango's the MC that named me the professor. But before him, for like a year and a half, was a dude named Set Free. And Set Free was responsible for the music on the early mixtapes, which was like fire. And he came up with a lot of vision for the And One mixtape.
That's cool.
So he landed a lot of artists who had either leftover tracks or he had to make it for the mixtape. I think later it became for the mixtape, you know what I'm saying? But it was like all his connects. Like he's real tight with like Jadakiss and you got Snoop Dogg and all these dudes. But then then later it was like Dipset and Mike Jones. But it was like the hardest songs were on this basketball mixtape. And it was just like the perfect marriage of basketball and hip hop.
And was it like one mixtape per year, or how often would they drop the mixtapes?
Yeah, one a year, exactly.
Okay.
They would do like one a year, and then you know, a different season, or 1 or 2 seasons of ESPN would air throughout the year. But it was like ESPN only had 4 shows.
Yeah.
So that joint would just spin all day and all night. Like they would marathon it, like even at night. You know, like shows used to play all night over and over. So like literally by the end of the week, it might have been aired like 30 to 50 times a week at one point.
Do you have them, the mixtapes, at home?
Oh yeah, for sure. I got them.
we got-
They're
we
in my
got-
backdrop somewhere.
We gotta watch those. You get a VHS player.
Yeah. Well, then now you can just find them on YouTube. You can just bring it right up. But yeah, I definitely have them all for the hard case, you know, collectibles.
So the mixtapes, were they distribute them as CDs, or was it downloads, or how were they?
VHS.
Oh, dude, you got to go back further. This is VHS in 1999. The first one came out.
So the mixtape was with the video footage. It was a combination of the two?
Yeah.
No.
You know
So
why?
mixtape is a video. It's a VHS
Because
video.
we hear mixtape, we think we're making a mixtape
Yeah.
for our girlfriends when we were younger, like all the oldies we liked and
Like a
everything.
tape or a
That's what we
CD.
think of mixtape.
I know.
It took me a while to put that together to that. And when he say mixtape, he's talking about a whole video.
It's a basketball
With
mixtape.
basketball
Sorry, I didn't
mixtape.
break that down. So And One was the first basketball mixtape. What it was is, it's like gritty highlights in the hood, street ball
To the
with
beat.
music over the top, and everything's kind of beat matched. Wow. But it's like fire. Like people didn't even know how fire this actually was. You know what I mean? Because I know like in the early 90s there was a VHS tape called NBA Jam Session.
Yeah.
And it had a lot of hip hop, it had every type of music, but a lot of hip hop over the top, like NBA highlights. I remember that was like fire. I remember growing up like loving that thing, but they just dabbled in it. It was not too much thought. You know what I'm saying? It's like Shaq and a bunch of people, Jordan going over the top of like Big E and a few other guys.
Yeah.
But that was gold, though. That was gold. And then later, and one kind of brought it to the masses. But that's what I mean. So the mixtape started in '99 with a VHS tape. I think there was 5 of them, and then it went to DVD. But it went all the way from basically it was like '98 to '08. That's what it was. Like 10 years. ESPN started '02, '02 to '08. And we would do a tour in the U.S. every summer. But then in the winter, we would go to Asia, and we go to Europe, and we do South America.
Man, the foreigners love Grayson. They stop him. They'll stop him in the Nike store. All in the casino, they're stopping him. They'll run to him. They bombard him.
A lot of travels overseas. I've been like more than 40 countries hooping, but a lot of those countries I've been to like 10 plus time, you know.
What's your top 3 favorite countries?
Top 3, well, number 1's the U.S. I'll just be honest. Like, I've traveled the world. To me, it don't get better than here.
Certain area though, like a certain city or state.
I like L.A. and Miami personally.
Yeah.
But, you know, a lot of people like New York, Chicago, the Bay. It just depends. But that's more subjective. I think it's always subjective, though, because a lot of cool sleeper areas that are great to visit. I wouldn't necessarily want to live there, but, you know, like I love Central America is really dope.
Yeah.
I like the islands. I think it's really dope to go to Dubai. I really like the culture experience when I went to Africa and India, just because, like, just from an experience standpoint, it's like such in a different vibe. You know what I mean? Like when I made YouTube videos in Africa and India, those went off because like nobody on YouTube wasn't paid the money to actually go there or get hosted over there. Yeah. So like I'm doing something that nobody else even gonna do. Yeah. Because it's a little scary. You go in that water, like you don't really know what you get into. Like I went to Africa in 2018 with this dude from Uganda, and he ran like a ministry. And I'm trusting just by our blurry 8-bit Zoom calls and what he posts on Facebook that he's like credible and cool. But I followed him for a couple of years just to see what's up. Yeah. But I wanted to go over there and play on the dirt court. You know what I'm saying? So like he hosted us. You don't know what you're getting into though. We got picked up at the airport by like 10 or 15 dudes. We drove like an hour or two on a red dirt road with no street lights. So
Wow.
yeah, I'm just saying, like going to different territory and countries, you don't know what you're getting into. So it's a hard brigade, right? Most people want let's just go outside and make a video. You know what I'm saying? But I knew those were gonna go off. So like we finally I played a college team on a dirt court. I played them all like a bunch of dudes one-on-one out there, and it made like some awesome content. Then NBA India just started like recently, like in 2018. NBA started branding over there, and they wanted to debut their merch. So they wanted me to be in the merch commercial. And I have my own brand, so I don't really do like other merch stuff. But I was like, whatever. I was like, can we host an event for my YouTube the next day? Because the commercial shoot was 2 days. I was like, the third day, can we host an event? And I was like, just bring 50 to 100 people to a court. And they're like, oh, no problem. No, we'll host it. So they brought like 1,000. You know what I'm saying? So like I did an event, or 500 to 1,000 people at a court in India. And that was like a really cool watch too, just because, you know, we were in the slums too. The joint looked like Aladdin. Real for real, you know what I mean? But
a dirt court though, like was it like
in India wasn't as much a dirt court. It was kind of a standard court, but just the culture, right? Everybody's got the turban, the whole vibe, and in that accent, and you know, there's the wildlife, and it looked like I was hooping in Aladdin, you know, like real talk. You know, from a commercial standpoint, culturally things are always a lot different than you think, but.
You ever been to India, Danny?
I've never been. No, I haven't. I've had some friends that have went. They had a good time one day.
I would go, yeah.
And it depends where you go to, right? If you go to the big cities in a lot of places, it's kind of commercialized. It look like I can go to, you know, if you go to Africa and go to a big city like South Africa, it just look like LA. So it depends where you go. I like going to the more rural, like touch the city at street level for the cultural experience for the video.
Yeah.
Not me, I want to stay there that long, you know what I'm saying? But when we stayed in Africa, we were in a hotel. The window had like all this brass like artwork around it. And so I was like, oh, it's kind of cool. But then I got over there and I was like, wait, ain't no window. This joint's outside. No, literally, the room is outside. Because we stayed at street level. We didn't go to the resort. We were in the city. So that's what I'm saying. Sometimes if you want to stay at the street level, like somewhere around there, it's crazy. Look. The front gate had a padlock. The joint was this big. No. Dude had a big ass skeleton key on his belt and a machine gun. This dude had a big ass machine gun. He ready to shoot down whoever's like. It's a different world, bro. The traffic don't have no lanes. It's just a free for all. You figure it out.
What are they feeding you there for breakfast and lunch or dinner?
Oh, no, we barely stayed alive. But whatever it was because I'm picky.
Because I know. Same with Danny. Danny's
No,
gonna.
you want to know what we got?
For a protein.
KFC and McDonald's for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. I let go of the local food. I was like, I'm good, bro.
But I heard McDonald's like gourmet dining over there, right?
Yeah, KFC was like a real restaurant. Like Pizza Hut overseas a lot too is like a nice. They look at actually as a nice Italian restaurant.
Oh, what?
Yeah, so
I would try all their culture. I would be like, yeah, let me send the dirt. Let me eat some whatever.
no,
you
but
guys eat.
sometimes good though. Like when I went to India, they gave us a cultural meal and had like some hummus. You know what I'm saying? It's like the real hummus.
Whoa.
But it was like good though. It's like good. So it always depends who's hosting you. Are you in the commercial side of the city? Are you in the rural? Are you going street level? The food, So yeah, like it was.
Both of you would be the same though,
Bro, it was wild,
have
bro.
to figure-
I had to stop doing the local, like, let's go to KFC, you know what
Did you ever try the food out in India? Like, I see like people making food in the streets with their legs crossed, no shoes.
Yes.
How's that? Did you try
I did
that?
it. Yeah, I did it for the vid. I did it for the video.
did?
You know,
How
my
did
homie
that taste?
Jay, big shout out to Jay Lyons. I love Jay. He's great. He shot my videos in India and killed it. He produced them, he directed them, he shot them, he edited them. It's fire. Like, you guys gotta check it out. Just search Professor India. But yeah, he did when we were walking on the street. He's like, bro, you order some right here. He said, just take a couple bites. You know what I'm saying?
How was that?
It wasn't bad. It honestly wasn't bad. But like I said, you can't say it's all bad. You can't say it's all good. It just depends who is making it. Just like in the U.S., right? Some of them hot dog stands outside Staples Center might be good, but then other ones is like, I'm good.
We're great. I always give him like food he doesn't want to try, and then I feel bad after, like the chimichurri.
Oh, yeah.
I loaded his taco with chimichurri from the
You
from
tried
the
one? Was he
picanha,
there that day when
but
they
he
had
doesn't like chimichurri. I mean, he's like chimichurri.
The joint was
but
too
like,
green. That was like what you eat.
It's chimichurri.
Yeah, like
in India with the dude with no socks on the floor, cooking up some pig intestines or whatever.
Did you try the taco, the Brazilian
the taco was good. The chimichurri.
without the sauce?
Yeah, I like the taco was good. Yeah, without the
You did it
sauce.
without the sauce.
Yeah.
No, I had some other greens like salsa. You know what I'm
Salsa.
saying?
You like salsa, but not the chimichurri.
The chimichurri, that's what you eat to defeat cancer. Like that joint is like, it has so many vitamins. You know what I'm saying? I was like, this is too green.
It's so nice that you eat the whole thing too, just to.
Well,
just
because
to
Bobby
appease me.
tried the different tacos. There's a Mexican taco and a Brazilian one, and Bobby tried it with that chimichurri sauce.
Yeah.
He's like, this is the best taco I've ever had.
But I like chimichurri.
Well, it was a good taco, bro.
Well, it depends on
it was
whoever
fire.
likes everybody likes
Yeah.
different sauces, but Bobby dug it a lot. And then I tried it. I was like, fuck, I like this better
Okay.
than any other taco too. So
Yeah.
we started doing these Brazilian tacos, and they were a big hit. You
I'm
need
gonna
to
stop.
try it,
I'm gonna
yeah.
stop trying to crack the code for you. 'Cause I keep trying to crack the code for him. And it's just
So what is chimichurri? What is
it's a chopped up parsley.
It's like parsley
and
with
onions
olive
and
oil.
garlic.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's kind of like
Yeah.
a green
It's
oil.
a
It looks
can-
weird,
it's a
right?
cancer
But it
fighter.
tastes pretty
So it
good.
looked like a green, it's like, those green drinks. It's like
Yeah.
that in sauce form.
Oh, like that grass that they put in the green juice.
looks like
Kind
that,
of,
but it's
but
not
not that liquidy. It's like kind
Little
of
thick,
texture.
Yeah.
It's
like peanut butter,
Like
you know
imagine
what
parsley
Oh,
cut up, like cilantro cut up.
Well, not
with
like
oil.
that, but like
Oh,
salsa.
okay.
Like that.
The
Yeah.
consistency.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. No,
gotta
never
try it
tried
one
one.
day.
but
So I could
I'll have to try
imagine.
one.
I could imagine.
Shout out
you know,
to Fearless Church.
Oh yeah, Fearless LA,
Big shout out to Fearless.
and the picanha truck and the picanha tacos.
Picanha, man, where you at?
We lost our picanha chef. He was booked to come in on Sunday, and the day before he was like, "I'm not gonna make it, guys." And we're like, "What?" Do you
Oh,
mean
he
you're not
backed
gonna-"
out.
Damn.
And we're like,
Hey.
"Well, give us the truck." And he's like, "Sorry, not until next week."
Pulled the
we
rug?
gotta call
Pulled
it
the
Dave-
rug on
and
us,
David,
man.
he pulled the rug. David was like, "Can you do anything about it?" 'Cause
Big
he
shout
really
out
wanted
to
picanha.
David
Pastor
from Fearless.
David,
Let's go.
Pastor David
Yep.
Turner.
We left a lot of people unhappy.
Disappointed. All the Brazilians are coming.
Yeah.
Everybody have their card for a free taco.
Bro, I was the one, dude. It was good though. I was unfair, just that salt, whatever, but it was super good. So
Yeah, the cut is a picanha
So-
meat, so it's like ribeye, but they don't have the picanha cut here in the U.S. and Brazil and Argentina. It's a certain way they cut the cow.
No, we had it.
And it has
we had
more fat on it. Oh,
We,
yeah, you-
at Fogo de Chao, we had it too.
Okay.
Did you get the
Yeah.
picanha at
Yeah,
Fogo
it's
de
a
Chao?
different cut. I like it though. I mean, I like it better than ribeye. So I'm like,
I got
it's
you.
good.
So,
no matter what kind of sauces, yeah.
so I poisoned him with the chimichurri. So I can only imagine, like in a different country, if it's somebody else's idea for you to have their food, like
yeah.
that's got to be wild. Or the prison food that you had too.
How was
Yeah.
that? Yeah, I saw that video on prison.
Oh, the prison?
You're like, oh, it's all right.
You did good.
It actually wasn't bad. It wasn't
that
bad.
bad,
You know what I
huh?
mean? Like, it was some cinnamon sugar toast.
Oh, well, that's
What else? That was like the dessert, the cinnamon sugar toast. And then we had like, I don't know, I can't remember, it was like some mean potatoes, but
which
I
prison?
mean, it wasn't great either, but it wasn't bad. It was, you know, it was like whatever.
Like lunch food, like at school.
Like for me, I like junk food. I eat like a kid, right? So like a lot of my meals I eat, I just do for utility, just to stay healthy. You know, I eat like a salmon, but I don't really like it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Just like let's deal with it.
You complain the whole through the whole meal.
Not even, yeah. I mean, a lot of my meals are utility because I'm an athlete, and then just stay in shape.
Yeah.
But if you ask me, I like wings and pizza and McDonald's and Popeyes. And,
Fuck with the TV dinner.
you know what I'm saying? Candy. I like
Doritos.
yeah, Doritos.
What's the healthiest meal or food that you like?
Well, my favorite
actually healthy.
crab legs.
Okay.
Crab legs goes crazy. That's my number one.
Garlic butter.
Garlic. No, mild Cajun.
Ah, okay.
It's got to be mild. Spice, I'm a goner. I can't do it. But the mild Cajun, or I like seafood how white people like it too. Though sometimes it's like fresh. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
With butter. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know, like the boil's fire though. I like that too. You know what I'm saying? With the
Yeah.
Cajun, the mild Cajun. But sometimes it's the fresh seafood and fries is really good too. So those are like my favorite meals either way.
Crab legs are Dungeness crabs.
Or you saying Dungeness or snow? Is that what you're saying?
Was it snow?
They're both crab legs. You were saying?
I mean, just the actual crab, like the Dungeness.
oh,
Or
they're
crab.
both the same. The legs or the body's the same. But I think like
Do you like to crack them open?
if
or
you do
like
the
to de-shell?
boil you gotta have snow
Snow
crab.
crab. Yeah.
If you do the fresh, you gotta have Dungeness.
Oh, shit.
Dungeness are the best fresh for sure. Some people like the king, and that's not bad either. But that's more on the fresh tip too. You just have butter with that with king crab.
Do you get them de-shelled or do you like to crack them open?
No, you gotta crack it. That's like half the fun. You know what I'm saying? You gotta like
I-
it's like you
I-
gold
I-
mining.
I cut myself one time, so I get them de-shelled now.
Well, it's nice. That's nice too. Like crab cocktail is good too because I already like shelled. You got to know how to do it. I used to actually. So, growing up in Oregon, we would go to the coast and we actually go crabbing. We like throw out nets
Wow.
That's crazy.
and go crabbing for Dungeness crabs. Cook it right there on the water. So it was always like it was like the greatest meal ever to me. And so I think that's a big part of why I like it a lot. But
That's pretty
I'm a pro at crack. I don't even use the crackers. I have teeth.
really.
Oh shit.
It's the whole thing. Yeah, it's like sunflower seeds for me.
But when I grab the damn crab leg, they have those things that pop
little
out, and
pieces.
when you
Oh.
try to grab it, I feel like they pop.
You want a king crab? That's one of the reasons I don't love king crab as
Is that
much.
why?
It's too
Okay.
sharp.
Yeah,
Yeah,
'cause
it's
I
a
get
little
all
more.
fucked up.
Yeah.
Yeah, you,
Yeah, so it's a king crab.
the king,
You're buying the
kinda
king
need
crab.
to
It's
got Band-Aids.
Yeah.
the king crab, you need the cracker. If you're not gonna do it without the cracker, the king crab is a tough play.
It's rough.
Yeah, it's
Lobster, homie. You never lobster cream.
I was
King
like,
crab.
oh man, beat up, and then the waiter, so we can de-shell that for you. I said, really? I should have done that from the jump. you
Yeah.
know? Now I get it de-shelled
Yeah.
because it's just ready to go, man.
Some crab places they beat it with a sledgehammer, so it's already easier to crack. It kind of like hit the whole thing. That's what they do with that.
Have you ever tried alligator?
I did actually in Louisiana. Alligator, it's not bad. Oh,
Chicken?
that was like chewy version of chicken. I didn't love it. I didn't love it, but I think it's part of because I knew what it was, so it kind of weirded me out. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But
Did they have like a dipping sauce, or how do you eat it?
yeah, the sauce. This is years ago. This is a decade back. But
You ever tried?
It's hard.
You ever tried chicken hearts?
But look, this dude, look, he tried to recommend chicken hearts this week, past weekend.
Stay away from that.
No, but no, he was like,
Brazilian thing.
no, we were being hosted by some hosts though, from a church.
Yeah.
And so they were like, yeah, man, the chicken hearts go crazy. And then like,
What the fuck?
I heard him in the distance. He was like, hey, professor, I actually don't think it's your thing, man. You know what I'm saying chicken
I
hearts.
tried them before.
But the lady across me, she's the pastor's wife. She's like, no, these chicken hearts are gonna
didn't
die for. You gotta have them. So I was like, all right, screw it. I was like, just give me one. You know what I'm saying? It's like the size of a lifesaver. I was like, just
peanut.
one.
What was it? Like a
Life
piece
here.
of meat? Or?
Yeah.
Kind of rubbery, I think, kind of like.
It's very chewy. It's like,
The flavor's got a bit
Like
of
if
game.
you think of a hard cook, that's kind of what it tastes.
So like maybe like tripas.
Like a gizzard,
like
like a
that, but
gizzard.
harder though, not as
kind of like the alligator a little
shit.
bit. Kind of, you know what I mean?
Yeah, like kind of like that chewy.
Tripas, yeah.
It's like a fatty part of a steak a little
I
bit.
like
You're not
tripas,
eating
I don't really
tripas.
like that.
Yeah.
What's three? What's that?
Tripas is
The Brazilians
is the,
make that a lot.
It's the intestines,
Oh.
intestines of
The cow.
Of a cow.
Oh, no. That's crazy. I don't do brains. I don't do intestines, no tongues.
You know
what
what?
I'm saying?
Actually,
Oh, you never tried the tongue?
I'm good on, I haven't had, but I'm good. I'm good.
when we went to the taco place, I had a 3-foot taco.
You
but
got it.
I didn't tell you guys because I don't want to gross you guys out.
I saw it on the sign. No, you told me though. You told me.
Like
Yeah.
it.
Okay, yeah.
You like the tripas.
I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it. Yeah.
Have you ever tried menudo?
Manure?
he's
No,
not doing it.
But I'm scared of it probably.
Not doing it. And even because it's for breakfast too. It's a breakfast soup that has the stomach lining.
It's basically
Oh,
stomach,
okay, I
cow
know
stomach.
about it.
And pork
Cow
feet.
stomach.
No, it's
Feet-
crazy,
feet
bro.
in it, too.
That's crazy. I go to Starbucks.
For sure.
Barely doing breakfast,
That's
let alone
but we had some of those things because we were at a Brazilian steakhouse. That's what it was with chicken hearts and all.
Yeah,
Yeah.
That's where they we
overloaded.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, we were
the
full
little
for like
cheese
3
balls
days.
are pretty bomb. The picanha's good. You know, they got some good stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, for
Brazilian
sure.
spots for sure.
What's your favorite flavor of sunflower seeds?
Ranch.
The ranch. Yeah.
I'll only do ranch. I mean, if you got the regular ones in front of me, I'll eat them. But like, ranch is the one.
He'll get you one to eat some sunflower seeds. I'm surprised we should have brought you sunflower seeds here.
It's all good, bro. No, it'd have been too much in the mic. All that
Right.
crack it. Yeah, that's my favorite snack.
So, so do you see yourself coming back as Spider-Man again?
I actually was trying to bring it back.
Really? Yeah, that's
Trying to
what-
bring it back. You know, it's funny. I had the Spider-Man replica suit, you know, that I did for 10 years that I used, and like I never washed it once. 10 years we made those episodes. Never washed it once because it was custom made by this design. This man.
It's like
Yeah, I didn't want to ruin it.
It's like
you know what I'm
me with
saying?
that sweater. I've never watched.
I was like, hey man, joint look icy, so I mean, nobody knows except for me. Bro, that thing reeks so crazy. So I took it back to my costume maker to try to make like a newer, better, updated one. Cause like I was doing it in early internet and like I think we were doing it like one of the Tobey Maguire costumes, more like navy and dark red, but I wanted it to be like royal blue and red. So yeah, I'm trying to revamp. I'm just gonna do 2 episodes and just see how it rocks, but they gotta be. I'm not putting them out unless they're fire.
How much did it cost to make that outfit?
This one I think it was like $8K.
Wow.
But I actually the dude gave me a deal, so I bought two characters. I'm not gonna say the other one. I don't want to give anything away, but it was $8K. I think when I first did it was $2,500, but it's like early cosplay, early internet. You know, cosplay is such a big thing, but we were one of the first to like. I was the first one to do a cosplay basketball video, Spider-Man basketball, and so now I do like a couple different ones every year, like a cosplay. It's all different stuff. You know what I'm saying?
You know what's crazy? You walk into Grayson's closet, and his shoes, they're worn out, like right here, like on the corner.
On the inside,
On
inside toe.
the
Yeah,
inside,
like right there.
They're worn out from him. Wow. He's so fast, his shoes slipping to the side, and he's got like a. I mean, most shoes get worn out on the bottom.
Well, I always have a hole right there.
It's a hole right
on my crossovers. I guess I drag my feet on there.
Do you have any kind of shoes coming out in the future that you're working on?
No, I actually haven't had a signature shoe since AN1 back in the day. You know, and then to make it on your own, it's a heavy spend and it's a heavy, you know, marketing between what you would do to make 1,000 pairs.
If you could make a shoe, you know, today, is there a certain type of shoe you kind of want to use as a reference that you like a lot? Like, hey, I want to do the Dunks or I want to do the Air Force Ones. What would you kind of use?
Yeah, well, those are streetwear, but I know what you're saying.
Yeah, but hey, whatever you want. Just
Kobe 5 or Kobe 11s are my favorite.
Okay. Yeah.
So I'd want it to feel like that, but I probably try to make it look a little bit different. You want to have it have its own style. I think
any colors you want to throw in?
Kyrie had some really dope sneakers too. You know what I mean? I do something really loud to capture attention because I think at the end of the day, the sneaker market's so competitive. And if you're coming with a sneaker that's not Nike or not Adidas, you're basically
stand
already lost in the sauce for it. But I would do something that screamed really loud so that it really stood out on video. You know, like when I wear the Bruce Lee Kobe 5s, they pop really hard on the video because they're yellow, black, and with a little bit of red. And so I would do something that stood out. You know, you'd make a bunch of colors though. I'd probably do like a South Beach colorway, something that's black and yellow, something
would you do
white
like a
and black
limited-
that anybody could wear.
Would you do a limited run or would you just make a bunch of them?
It's too hard to say. It's too hard to say. I think limited run for sure. But now you pre-sale. Pre-sale. You know, if you come in independent, you wouldn't spend $100,000 to make the inventory. You would spend. Well, sorry, you wouldn't spend $200,000 to make the inventory. You probably spend $100,000 pre-sale them all and try to make your money. But honestly, dude, I looked at it like doing an independent shoe. It's too much of an upward climb. It was not my interest. I think people that do them, they find out how hard it is, they end up breaking these and are losing money and stop. unless they have big investment. He's third-party investment from up top. But, also it's not the time to lock that down. Like, just doing YouTube and staying relevant to culture this long is like a difficult thing. It takes everything out of me because I do all platforms. I have 5 million on Facebook, 6 million on TikTok, 8 million on YouTube,
on IG.
five or six on IG. We post on LinkedIn,
Snapchat.
Snap. We're on Snap.
And most of the money you make is derived from the views, would you say?
No, most is ads on the videos.
Yeah.
So my management, big shout out to Long Haul Management. They're fire, bro. They bring me it's called brand campaigns nowadays in the digital space. So a brand campaign play a big flat rate for either one platform. So like my YouTube video might be like 30 seconds on a YouTube video or a minute in a YouTube video, but sometimes they pay way more for like a big spread. You do like the integration in a YouTube video, 2 IG posts, a TikTok, and some IG stories,
So
and
that's
tweet.
taking their stuff and implementing it in your video.
Yeah.
Right? And then YouTube does their own ads, right?
Exactly. So you do get paid on the viewership only from YouTube.
I see.
Like IG pays sometimes and TikTok pays, but it's just marketing. They don't pay you anything. I have 3 billion views on TikTok and paid $8,000. So it's not,
Any tips for somebody trying to get into YouTube and make money off it, doing something they love?
going for the long haul.
Yeah.
We're gonna come back dancing if you dress up as Spider-Man.
Yeah. Hey, it might be lit. But no, like
You gotta go viral. I see where you're going with
look,
this.
you would dress up as this character.
Oh yeah, yeah.
That's Bobby.
The razzle dazzle.
We actually designed that app of Bobby right there.
Wow.
See the resemblance?
Hey,
But no, YouTube is for the long run.
Yeah.
So, I always tell people like, oh, you knew YouTube, so your first 500 videos, nobody's watching them. You still cool?
Some guy
It's a cold world, but it's true. Like, it's nobody watching them.
Some guy told me it took him 7 months to really see the fruits of his labor take off.
Damn, that was quick.
And it was, I'd say 4 videos a month, consistently. By the 7th month, that's when he got his first video that got 1 million views. And then from there, it took off.
Well, he's doing a great job though. That'd be more on the upper echelon. The most people. It's hard too. It's like, do you live in LA and New York, and are you around the inner circle of entertainment, talking about the tricks, tips, and secrets? Because if you're not, you almost have no shot.
This guy was
to
in
be
the
honest.
cannabis arena, and I think at that time there wasn't a lot of other people doing that. So maybe he had like
Yeah, if you're early to something, it's big. Like I did the first cosplay basketball video. You know what I'm saying? The first to do that. I did the first. Oh, here's what's crazy. I'm the first basketball influencer of all time. Well, it wasn't a genre. I did it in 09 for the live show. There was a couple entities at the time. There was like Ball is Life and there was Hoop Mixtape.
Yeah.
But I was the first basketball social media influencer ever. YouTube. I was on YouTube, Instagram, all that.
Crazy.
And so I started out first by uploading my old highlights from Man One. Then as I would play, I would upload new ones. That fan taught me to edit. But it's a long haul run. So like most people would take like years or whatever to get traction, or you just never get traction, or your traction might look like 7K video view, 15, 1K, 3, it's like something like that.
Yeah.
It's just like podcasts. Like not everybody, like you having a guest, this is the debut. So you way ahead. But even that's still hard.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? We have a friend, we're not gonna say names, no shade, but they got A-list celebrities on the pod all the time. Can't get it to get no traction. So it ain't really about the celebs, how you do your infrastructure.
Yeah, for sure.
What's your media team looks
chefs-
like.
Consistency and then also
it's
quality.
the chefs in the back kitchen boiling and chopping and cutting and cooking it up.
It's actually a big Rubik's Cube of a whole bunch of variables. So like it starts with how was it shot? How was it framed? All that stuff. So it's like, how was it actually filmed? Number one. Number two, how good was the idea? Really, number one is how good was the idea? That's the foundation. So a lot of people lose right there. Your idea didn't have mass appeal, you know what I'm saying? Or didn't even have any appeal, or some appeal, or no appeal, or whatever, right? Because sometimes things can look good in your head, but then you bring it to life. It's like, oh, it's kind of weird. So you got to deep think through your ideas if you want to go off. At first, I say just do what you think, you know what I'm saying? Just get a bunch out and learn as you go. But it's the idea, it's how it's shot, it's how it's edited, what's the sound, you know what I'm saying? And edit's a big key, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Edit is like
for sure.
everything. Then it's like, how consistent are you on the uploads? Like
Shorts.
yeah, it's like, are you doing short form also? I mean, it's a whole big Rubik's Cube, but if you can like hit on all the variables or like 80, 90% of those, then you probably have a good bid.
Did Bobby ever show you the felony fight videos that we did?
No, I never.
No, I ain't seen it.
No.
So
No,
back
he
in
used to-
2005, we were having guys out of prison fight with no gloves on.
That's fine.
2-on-2s.
I used to watch.
That's
him fight.
hard
I used
though.
to watch him
See,
fight.
that part went off. Fighting is like that's like a timeless thing.
in Mexico.
Yeah, but see, that's what I know too when it comes to the YouTube game and social media. If I make somebody look bad in basketball, it's actually timeless.
Yeah.
It'll always have appeal. Now, the edit could be better than others. The story could be better than others, right? All those things, you know, weigh in, but like that timeless fighting will always be timeless.
I want you to
Now the
meet him.
YouTubers fight each other.
He had to meet you first. I don't want to be like, this is the fights that he does. This is where we're gonna go today.
Yeah, it's kind of graphic. It's a little bloody, you know. And at the time,
It's great. It's like UFC before UFC.
Galilee fights. Yeah, but with nunchucks.
With the hood. It's like
but
street fight. Street
Yeah.
fighting.
Straight up.
You know what's funny? I take notes. The way I do YouTube is actually Street Fighter, but it's basketball. So like I have dope backdrops. It always has like a hip hop feel. It's like a street feel.
Crazy.
You know what I'm saying?
Video games.
So like Street Fighting reminds me of Street Fighter, the video game. So that's why I try to make all my videos actually have like a Street Fighter vibe. Like I'm always dribbling them. It might be like Lambos behind us while we're hooping, or like it could be the ocean.
Yeah.
There's always people watching.
That's a good idea.
So I kind of take notes from that street fighting vibe.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
shit.
it's pretty crazy. It did well.
They were popping off.
Of course they
Galilee
were.
fights went
I mean, think
crazy.
about it. If you knocked out him, like, or vice versa, this is going on.
For sure. Yeah, for sure.
It's fighting. is
Danny's
just-
got a heavy fit.
We're looking to do another event with cops fighting convicts in the cage.
Dang, that's a good one.
He did one already.
That's a good one.
We did one back in 2011.
That's
at the
hilarious,
LA Sports
actually.
Arena, and there was fights in the cage and more out of the cage. So some of the people that were involved walk into the event,
He sold out
and there
the
was
arena.
weed smoke
That's a great
everywhere.
idea.
You know,
Great
every
idea.
gang in LA, and you know these people walked in, the investors, and then they walked right back out because it was a real kind of like the movie The Warriors.
Yeah.
2011.
I bet.
That's fire. That's a good title though.
Cops versus
Who was
guns.
the host? I mean,
We
who was
had
the
Danny
MC?
Trejo Machete hosted it. Debo from Friday hosted it. We had Rick Ross.
That's dope.
And full day of hip hop, 2 Shorty 40, Dog Pound, Cypress Hill, Wu Tang. Then at night we had the cage fights.
It's a great idea.
So-
why'd you stop? Why?
Well, part of it was because of all the fights that happened outside of the cage, right? A few people got stuck. So
Why?
it was kind of a violent event because every gang in LA decided to go to that event.
You know what though? It's like it was too real. It's too real. You almost didn't need to go that real because think for the content.
He invited the whole
For-
damn
for-
city.
Yeah. For content, you could have just casted that almost. It's still appealing. You say cops versus criminals. You don't really have to do the
not the real.
The real version is too dangerous almost. You know what I mean? You could almost you could do a version in the middle, not too commercial and fake.
Yeah.
But not the deep.
Well, they
things.
did have gloves on.
No, but I'm saying like who they are was too real.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, maybe that's what you wanted, but
It's a
that's
natural rivalry.
always gonna come with problems.
The tension was there, bro, from the gate.
Well, here's the problem. We had to hire LAPD. We had to pay $10,000. We had to have real cops, you know,
Yeah.
patrolling the arena. Instead of patrolling the arena at the LA Sports Arena, 14,000 people.
Yeah.
They decided to all
Go.
hide in a room downstairs. So there was no enforcement, no cops. It was a free-for-all.
Oh,
I put
shit.
everything.
You didn't have no security?
The cops were the security with other security, but the other security, they weren't ready for that kind of stuff.
Oh yeah.
Right? You needed the
You need heavy
You probably
security.
needed the real cops to be
Fuck
walking
yeah,
around.
yeah, for sure.
Because look at what happened. It was like crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Because the cops
Shit.
walked in and they're like, the headline says cops versus convicts. And they look around. There's nothing but
convicts
convicts
everywhere.
around.
It's like, wait, we're the main event. So it's cops versus convicts in the ring and outside the
They're
ring.
like,
They didn't-
not
They
gonna
were
walk into
nowhere to
this
be
trap.
found, man. And 10
They didn't
grand
feel that
You have the
down the
footage?
drain.
You never upload the footage?
They has
Yeah,
it,
it's on
yeah, it's
YouTube. You could type
Did
in
it go off?
Yeah.
Oh, I was gonna say, okay. If you didn't go off, you need
No,
to
there's
re-edit
footage
it.
of fights. There's
Okay.
footage of fights in the cage, fights in the arena. I mean, it was nuts. It was crazy. Well, cage versus cons. You'll see all the fights, but
I'll
yeah, it was
check it
pretty
out.
crazy.
I'm gonna check it out. All right.
Shit.
That's awesome.
That sounded great.
Honestly, it sounds hilarious. Awesome. Like,
Yeah, but you know, we were gonna do a tour, and Jerry Heller was bringing these big wigs to do a nationwide tour. Then he ended up passing away, and then everything kind of fizzled out. But I'm thinking, man, now's a good time to redo it.
Shit.
Yeah, you go if you would tour, you could do the commercial. You don't got to do the real. You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, it's all about how good is the content. That's what it's really all about.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like just that title is going off.
I think
Yeah.
you know, the fan base for felony fights. I think they want the real stuff. the
Well,
real
it's more
sweat, the
juicy.
real blood.
It's more
you know.
juicy. It might be harder production, a hard
Yo,
tour though.
They got nunchucks on these streets. The felony fights. One guy made nunchucks.
I seen that one. That shit was crazy.
Nunchucks.
Wow.
Yeah, it's a pretty crazy. Maybe Bobby didn't want to show you that because he'd be like, "Oh man, I don't know about this guy."
I was.
That's all good. You good?
It's better he
You
made
good.
it first. This is.
Yeah.
Keep it GCF.
That's the old. That's the old Danny.
Yeah, those back in the day.
It's all good.
With gloves, I mean, if it's like sanctioned UFC professional rules, I mean,
I don't really think it's rough. Yeah, I'd meet with Dana White on pocket. He
Yeah.
got the UFC, so it's all good.
yeah. So you know, it could be something cool. They even have bare knuckle fighting now,
Wow.
legalized.
Wow.
Yeah, so they got that going on, but you know, between the CBD business and that stuff, that's something. It could happen, you know, if we get the
could,
right
yeah.
people involved, you know. But it's an idea right now to resurrect.
Have them
it.
smoke a moon rock first and then go in. That'll mellow it out a little bit. You know?
Yeah, but yeah, thank God for Bobby, you know, coming on board and you know, kind of helping out with all the different stuff that we're doing, and yeah, we're trying to keep it GCF though, man.
We're trying.
Right?
We're trying. Yeah.
GCF. Let's go.
Good, clean fun. We're defining the definitions for Danny and myself.
Ongoing process.
It could be. We're going for good, cleaner fun.
Gotcha.
Yeah, man. What's next for you?
What's next? Starting a program, Crossed Up University, teaching the game. So I'm trying to launch that next couple weeks. We're just tightening up the software right now, but I finished it.
I'm glad it's done.
So kids I could be their online trainer. Basically, you know, you could go on there and get a subscription, and you know, I basically laid down foundational workouts of how I would teach somebody, you know, to get handles or whatever. So there's a lot of stuff that I actually did for real, mixed in with things I learned along the way. But it's like 12 workouts initially, and then you know I could be a trainer ongoing if they want to pay a little more. So
You put a lot of work into it too.
Crossed Up University, trying to launch that soon. But I was like that, you know, it's content every week, you know what I'm saying, on all platforms.
Yeah,
Really excited about that.
that's cool.
Crab legs in between.
Crab legs always, man. You know what I mean? Yeah.
That's cool, man. Have you always been, you know, business minded and figuring out ways to monetize on the different things that you're doing? Because prior to that, it was N1, you know, you got a nice chunk every year.
Yeah.
And then boom, at that point, you had to like start creating ways to make money, right? Doing everything
Yeah.
that you know how to do.
Yeah, you know, I wasn't business minded in the N1 days, but that's because we had traditional endorsement deals. So we actually weren't allowed to do deals outside of that, and we weren't allowed to be like entrepreneur, you know, solo entrepreneurs. They did all of our marketing, all the promotion, you know, set up the events and everything. All we did was just show up and
Wow.
rep it. So, you know, it was old school. It was like traditional endorsement deal back in the day. They did it all. So when it ended, like I said, we went financially down to zero.
Wow.
And then I kind of had to figure out a slow grind from there. But I actually have always been good at marketing though. Like I saw YouTube when it first came out, 04.
Yeah.
I was actually privy to it because fans would say they saw my videos on YouTube. And so I was like, YouTube. So I started looking into it. By 06, I was already up trying to flood YouTube with my videos because I saw the rips from the ESPN show were going off so crazy. I'm like, this is only good marketing. This is good promo right here. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I was actually on it early, and then when AdSense came out, you start your channel. So 2009, I started my own channel, but I actually been on YouTube almost since it came out back in the day. So I think I was good at marketing, but not as good with the dollars. You know what I'm saying?
How was it growing up as a kid, you know, in Oregon? How were your parents growing up? Were they pretty like mellow? Was it like a nice environment, or how was it growing up?
Like mid-tier, like not the most strict, but also not like lenient. I would say I had a great upbringing though. Like my parents, one of the biggest reasons I even am who I am today, they supported all my basketball passion like to the fullest. Like it'd be like how anybody would want their parents to support their dream. Like I went to clinics, camps, I had a personal trainer at 4th grade. Shout out to Rodney Howard. That was a big part of why I do what I do. He taught me Iverson crossover and all that at an early age. I always had Jordans, sneaker, like, you know, the investment they put in was crazy from time and money effort, sweat, everything. But you know, my dad loved basketball, so that was like our bonding too.
That's cool.
So it was actually great. But
Landon's a coach, right?
yeah, my brother's a head college coach. You know, he played ball too. Yeah, he coached Westmont.
So the whole
College.
family was into basketball.
Straight-
And you loved
straight
it.
basketball
That's
family.
all you ever wanted to do as a kid.
One time I was on an AAU team and they had practice 3 times a week, an hour and a half away, and my mom drove an hour and a half, 3 times a week just for practice.
Wow.
And then games were out of town on the weekend.
So everybody was serious about this.
It was a full-time job, but you know, for me it was always fun. You know what I'm saying? I always enjoyed basketball for the purest, you know, for the pureness of the sport, but also the showmanship of it. I just love when the lights come on to go out there and put on a show and go crazy. You know what I mean? So
You see him in person, he's like blurry. He's like an Avenger. Because I knew Grayson first. I had to learn who the professor was.
Yeah.
and I'm a big fan of watching the videos. But you see him in person, it's like he's an Avenger, like an Avenger character for basketball. He's blurry. He's so fast.
I actually love that you say. I try, like when I dribble, everything always has to be like airbender. You know what I'm saying? You know, like the Avatar airbender.
Yeah,
like that's why I try to make everything got to be like water and
And who's that
air.
airbender guy on the videos?
What?
You put up a video with the airbender.
It was me. Yeah.
That was you?
No pun. And I was saying,
Because I was watching it.
I was saying, all my videos got to be that.
him.
You know what I'm saying? It needs to feel like water and air. You know what I'm saying? Like it's got to be flow. But yeah, we did that as a cosplay too. I mean, I've done it. Look,
Good outfit.
we did Spider-Man. We did Space Jam. I did an Alien. The McDonald's worker. We did Nerd. We did Santa. We did Airbender. I did Joker.
What was your favorite?
My favorite, what was my favorite? The Space Jam was actually the biggest. People remember Spider-Man the most because like early YouTube. But Space Jam actually did a couple billion views. Spider-Man, so they all did hundreds of millions on my channel. It's always like 5 to 10 videos, but the fans remake it. And then like it can be billions of it. This Space Jam joint, you probably seen the clip. I dribbled up to the foul line, in and out crossover between legs. I threw it off the backboard as Bugs Bunny. Threw it off the backboard. And it came back to me. And as I go back, I like flipped the ball out. But this dude, he like reached for it. He like extended, but the ball like had spin on it. So it like evaded him. And then I kind of went between his legs and I was like looking back at him in the pass. This vid, viral ain't even a word. This joint broke every platform. Like,
Wow. How many views did it get?
uncountable. I mean, on my channel, the long form video, the compilations thing got 25 mil, but on the re-uploads, like my page, it got a few mil, but third party pages go off more than my page.
And when they
because-
take that content and they re-upload it, do you get compensated for that, or there's no way to track it?
no, it's just promotion.
Okay.
I mean, you'd like to be if that was doable, but it's just promotion. But YouTube, we flag it. We can get money for it. YouTube has a built-in system for that.
I see.
Short form doesn't have a built-in system for it, but short form doesn't pay you anyway. So like, it's all promotion. You hope they tag you. A lot of times they don't.
I mean, people always want to see the original video though. After, I mean, I do. Like whenever I see a video, and then I'm like, where's the original video of this? You know, and I think that's where it goes back to you all the time.
Yeah, like one dude, a week after that video uploaded, that Bugs Bunny, he uploaded that clip I'm telling you about, but he did it on like a third party page. I think he had like a Latin crowd. He did like some weird like Latin trend on TikTok.
Yeah.
Joey had 149 million just on that one clip. But I think it goes off there even more because then there's a mystery. It's like, who was this and where was that? And it's just, this Bugs Bunny is crazy. Whereas if I upload it, I'm actually saying like, here's what I did this week. And that's appealing too, but not as like just the third party mystery. Like who did this? This really happened. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It was hot that day too.
It was hot.
It was hot outside
Oh yeah.
that day. Yeah. I wanted to ask you something. So when I was younger, I had like little man complex. I might have told you. So I used to get in a lot of fights because I thought people were like,
That's right.
just, like punk me. But I've probably been like 18 fights, but I never really won my fights. I lost almost every fight I've been in. But it was not.
You told me you won a couple, right?
Like I want a couple.
There was one big
I
one
want
you
one
won.
real big win. Yeah. Yeah, I want a free vacation for that last bit. So what I was gonna say is that when I was, the more I would fight, it seemed like it got like a little more slow motion for me. I just felt like I was getting better at it, even though it was still bad.
Yeah.
And so I was wondering,
You're more locked in.
a little locked in.
Yeah.
Like I guess you see things a little differently. But it seemed like slow motion is like the best way I could think about. So for you, I wonder like if it's like slow motion for you when you're playing, because you already know the person's, you're 3 moves ahead of them.
Yep.
And it's all instinct. It's not like you're not even thinking about it. You're in cruise control. But is it like a little slow motion?
It is slow motion. Yeah, it is. Like, I think that's the key though, right? Being 2 or 3 steps ahead of the defender. So when I come to defender and I'm setting him up, if I just go do an in and out like that, I can, and just see how he moves, I can already tell if I can throw it between his legs or do whatever I want, or how giddy he is, or basically it tells me what move I'm gonna do.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So then based on how he moved, it's like, oh, okay.
By their response?
So I do 2 more moves to set him up for that. And by the time it goes between his legs, I already know where he's going to end up. He doesn't know where he's going to end up. So, yeah, you stay ahead. And then, it is kind of like routine, so it feels slow for me. Mm-hmm. But sometimes I'll watch the tape back, especially if you're tired at night. You know, when you're tired, you watch videos that are faster. So, like, when I'm laying in bed, I'll watch them in the clips. I'll be like, dang, that was crazy. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's like not no arrogant stuff, just, you know, like.
Because you probably blank out a little bit, too, while you're playing. Right?
You blank out. It's instinct. So sometimes I'll do moves that I couldn't have actually pre-planned. It was just all based on how the defender reacts. So I can pre-plan some moves, but a lot of it's just instinct. So it's like you plan that, but if they go in a position that you didn't anticipate and you can't do that move, you got to have another move on deck. And then you got to, it's like fighting, right? It's like ninjas, all based off how they react. Yeah.
Oh, shit.
What do you think right now, as far as the USA, with the economy being in such a bad position? You know, the dollar crashing. What do you see in the next 2 years with the U.S. right now?
Well, it's hard to say, man. I think they always wonder, will it go down like 2009, right?
Yeah.
It was just crazy because that's when AN1 ended. It all crashed at that same time of that bottom out of the economy.
Real estate crash.
The real estate crash. But it feels like we might have that again, like at some point. I don't know.
Yeah,
It feels like it's getting very loose on the loan and all those things. I'm not an expert, though, I'll be honest. I couldn't really tell you, but it does feel like it's so expensive. It's getting so expensive to live in
Right.
a lot of places that it's like, when is too much? Like, is it going to bottom out at some point? Because, like,
Right.
you have $30 at McDonald's now.
I feel like food doubled since COVID. Food is doubled.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Soup,
I feel like food is
everything
doubled,
doubled.
honest.
Gas
food.
tripled.
Gas is way the hell
Gas
more.
tripled.
And everything seems cheaper.
Food doubled. How much is it for one bed now in LA?
It's crazy.
Yeah, about 1,200.
Oh, no.
Well, that's in the hood,
No.
right?
Yeah.
You want a
25.
decent
25.
a decent one bed, 25
22.
to 33.
22.
25 to 3,300 if you want like a newer, nice one you feel great about. But yeah, like at base though, 1,200's a steal. I'd say like at base 17, 18 is like a decent one.
Yeah, I'm about 1,200.
And that's LA.
That's in East LA.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I was like, dang.
OG stage.
That joint, it don't even come with a wall. You guess like, that just might not have a stove.
Oh, just true.
He stays.
I know.
If say the country went, to shit, right?
Yeah.
What country would you move to?
That's a good question because I did.
You've been all over
consider
the
that.
world.
Yeah, I did consider that. I think what comes to mind is like Canada or Australia. This is what like pops in my mind first. But I don't really know. I never really I'm not trying to do that ever. But
Yeah.
if it did for business, to be honest, probably would go to Canada or Australia, but I would dabble in China a lot. I don't want to live in China full time, but basketball in China is like on high. Or I might just go full nomad. We just stay on tour. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm not married. I ain't got kids. I actually like that life, though. I 2017 and 2018, I was paying rent, but I don't know why. I was just fully on tour, like most of the year.
Yeah.
I really like that. It was fun. But yeah, that'd be an initial. Or it'd be hard to have like a cheap place in like an island or like Central America,
Yeah.
but then kind of stay on the road. But then when you do go back,
Central America, what countries have you been over there?
like Costa Rica or Belize, Panama.
Nice.
Those are really dope. They're more like vacation vibes. I don't know like what kind of community you really have in there. But like, I'm all speaking fictional, theoretical. You know what I'm saying? I'm not trying to leave LA you know what I'm saying? Or Miami. But yeah.
Would you move, Danny, to a different country?
If things got really bad, and I think they are going to get really bad soon, yeah, I would. I
Where do you
would.
think you would go?
You could be remote with your business though, right? So that helps.
Yeah, I could. I think Barcelona's nice. I like South America. I think between those two, one of those would work out pretty.
Yeah, the south of France is really nice. When
Yeah.
we talk about international, I forgot. The south of France is really fire. Italy is really
Italy's
dope.
nice.
Some places I kind of forgot. It's hard to pick everywhere in the world, but
I live in an RV. I just drive around the country. I'd be fine.
Stay here?
Domestic.
Just
In the
domestic.
forest, yeah.
it's fun.
In the man camp.
Yeah,
Hey, Grace, I know you have a meeting. At 3
Yeah,
o'clock.
yeah.
Well, thank you so much.
All
man,
right,
for
dude,
coming
humble,
through,
bro.
brother.
Hey, it was dope
Appreciate
hanging out with you guys, man.
Thank you, man.
Sure, bro.
yeah.
For sure, bro.
If my palm's sweaty, it's gonna look.
Appreciate it. OG. Hey, appreciate you, my bro. You guys had some dope questions too. I never. Some of those were like first. I've been on a lot of podcasts. You know.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Well, great having you, and we'll stay in touch.
Humble, bro.
We'll
Appreciate
meet up
it.
for some GCF soon.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
Well,
Well, we on a Sunday, right? We out there Sunday? Are y'all both going?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. I'm excited. I'm excited.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah, that'll be cool.
Yeah, you are sick.
Yeah, meet with Snoop D-O double.
For sure.
Hey, no problem.
Yeah.